Channel 10, Fundy Community Television, Fredericton.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to New Brunswick International Speedway for what's turning out to be a lovely afternoon of stock car racing. We're here to film the Pro Stock Best of the Best 150. We have 16 of the best Pro Stock cars in the Maritimes racing here this afternoon. I'm here with my good friend Dennis Melanson. Looking forward to having a good time. Dennis, how you
Look,
stay?
I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to what it would arguably be the finest stock car racing in Eastern Canada, without a doubt. Pro Stock 150 coming up. We're in for a treat today, Huey.
Yes, we are. As the folks at home probably wouldn't know, we've already run off some of the qualifying races. This is quite a long day of racing, so we're picking things up here with the Street Stock Dash. The Dash, of course, counts for 10 points, which is quite important, the way the point standings work here with the Street Stock class in New Brunswick International Speedway. So the boys will be trying for this one. We're going to show you the two dashes, and then we're going to show you all the features this afternoon, and it should be very, very good fun. The lineup as we see it now, Thomas Shirley has the pole. On the outside of Thomas Shirley is 13-car Grant Arts as they come down the home stretch for the start. And Art walks on Shirley. Jumped him on that one, Dennis.
Got a good jump on him. Might have a little problem holding that line on the outside, though.
Brent Langell and Dale Knorr behind him, and then there's that tenacious Kevin Curry running outside the 48-car Robert Miner. Jerry Tremblay and Mike Finley. And Jolton Joe Albert from Minto bringing up the rear. Oh, Langell gets a little loose, gets a little bit of Hokey Wolf in his side. So it's Arch and Shirley at the front. Still haven't quite decided who's going to lead this race. And they've got some trouble.
The earlier heats in the street stock were a little chippy, a bump and grind to say the least. This seems to be fairly clean. A little bit of
just a bit. At least we don't have that full moon to contend with here in the middle of the afternoon, Dennis.
This is true. They get a little bit of the loony side sometimes.
Well, things starting to heat up out here a little bit. You got Dale Knorr, who's always very competitive, and Kevin Curry, one of the most competitive cars in the street stock class, no question about that. Trying to give Grant Arts and Tom Shirley a little trouble.
Black flag warning with number 75 card.
Curry gets a little bit loose, hangs one wheel off the outside of the pavement, and Hokey Wolf has snuck up through the inside pack. He's taking Curry and Knorr and is making a run at Thomas Shirley. Grant Arts, Tom Shirley, and Hokey Wolf make that Grant Arts, Hokey Wolf, and Tom Shirley.
5 laps into this one now, Huey. We're halfway through.
Halfway done. Should mention, Dennis, that 56 car is going to be for sale after today, we understand. Hokey Wolf moving up into the sportsman class. Going to leave the street stock alone. I think probably almost a certainty now that the Hokey Wolf is going to win the points championship here at New Brunswick International Speedway for this season. Very unlikely that anyone, something untoward would have to happen for anyone to catch Hokey Wolf this year.
Oh, without a doubt. Just a fine racer.
So they're going to sell the 56 car and concentrate on their 3 car. Joe Albert smoking bad. Joe's done some serious damage to his motor there.
I would say
he's blown
so.
something apart.
He's going to be heading into the pits here.
Immense amount of smoke coming off the back of Joe's car. As Chuck Henderson gives them the signal for 2 laps left, they go with Grant Arts and Hokey Wolf. It's going to be interesting now as Hokey Wolf tries to reel in Grant Arts with 1 lap left. The white flag.
Well, we have a spin out in turn 3 and 4.
Dale Knorr slid rather gently around the apron on the top side of the track, bumped across the pit road entrance, and is now parked at a 90-degree angle to the pit entrance, making sure nobody else is coming out.
See if we can get that on replay, Huey.
Let's have a look and see what happens. You'll notice Shirley gets
Just
a little
nice
loose.
Little
Jerry Tremblay
went
taps
wide
him,
and lost it. Yep.
And Dale Knorr rather than get collected, I think more drove than spun that car up along the apron on the other side. Hope Dale didn't damage anything there. He looks to be running in pretty good order. He's got a little bit of body metal at the front of the car, immediately ahead of the front wheels.
Well, you know, Hugh, you have to admire the designers of this track for the way they put the earth wall around rather than a concrete wall. I'll tell you, it sure saves a lot of race cars and a lot of drivers, too. You know, when they go off the track, that would have been a lot worse had it been concrete.
Oh, I'm sure it would have done. It's probably a lot easier to scrub that gravel out of the inside of the car than it is to replace a lot of twisted metal.
That's for sure.
So I think with one lap left, you can see Grant Arts on the pole, Hokey Wolf next to him, followed by Kevin Curry, and it's going to be interesting to see where they put Dale Knorr. Dale, of course, having been up in the mud there, but it's sort of maybe a little hard to determine whether Dale just drove up there to avoid an accident or whether the officials will deem that Dale was involved in that accident. But it looks like... I
don't think he touched anyone, Hugh. It looks like he just went up to go around and hit the dirt and sort of lost it a little bit.
And it seems like he's being returned to his starting position that he was in immediately preceding that crash. So we would assume the officials have deemed that indeed that wasn't his accident and he just took to the pucker brush to avoid it. So this is going to be interesting now. Shootout down the pole is going to come down to who's got the horsepower. It's going to be a one-lap drag race.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Hokey Wolf on the outside there.
This will be the thing as they approach that line. It looks like they're going to go around one more time. The pace car's still on the track. So as they come around this next time, it's going to be a shootout to see whether Hokey Wolf can outgun Grand Arts down the straightaway and get into turn one first. Probably safe to assume that whoever gets into that turn first is going to win this race.
Oh, without a doubt.
So we have Arts and Wolf on the front row, Curry and Tremblay on the second. That's Dale Knorr and Mike Findlay in the third row. Langell and Miner on the fourth row, and Tom Shirley bringing up the rear all by himself.
Fine crowd showed up today, too, Huey. For
big crowd.
Day of racing here at NBIS. One of the biggest crowds ever, they're saying.
Not surprising that a feature of this magnitude would attract a lot of people, Dennis. We're going to see some fine racing here this afternoon.
Well, it's attracted cars from Newfoundland, from Maine, from Nova Scotia, and, of course, New Brunswick as well. Great field coming up.
We understand we're only going to have one Fraser racing here today, where we were expecting two. I guess Scotty and his boys played themselves out. They told me in the pits it was their worst finish for the season.
Is that right? Well, they still clinched the NASCAR title, though, which was good news for them, I guess.
Oh, I'm sure they did. They won every race. They said his worst finish this year was last night in Antigonish, and it was second place. Looks like Grand Arts going to hold this off.
I don't think...
White flag lap. Hokey Wolf and actually Curry. It looks like Curry's taken that second place away from Hokey Wolf.
He did indeed.
Now here's something we don't see much. Very seldom anybody takes anything from Hokey Wolf. That's the way it's going to finish. It's going to be Grant Arts, Kevin Curry, Hokey Wolf, Jerry Tremblay, and Dale Knorr, comprising our top 5 cars. And a good race from the boys in the street stock class, Dennis.
Indeed, a fine race. Nice and clean, very little contact. Only one major spin out there on turn 3.
Well, Dennis, let's take a short pause while they collect those up, and we'll be hearing from Jack Carr, who will no doubt be talking to the winner of that race. And we'll be back with our Sportsman Dash in just a few minutes.
After 50 years of promoting water safety, the Canadian Red Cross is launching a new water safety program. To continue its work, the Red Cross needs our help. So please, Canada, let's give generously.
We're back at MB Sports. Welcome. You're watching Fundy Community Television. We're at the NBIS, and now I've got Grant Artis. He is the winner of the Street Stock Dash. Grant, you look pretty good out there. How'd you feel?
Felt great. I got a new set of tires this week and helped out a lot.
It was a little, maybe a little nerve-wracking there with a lap and a half to go. You had to restart with Hokey Wolf alongside you. What'd you think of that?
Well, Hokey's about the best car on the track. You give it all you got. You don't give him any slack.
How's your year going so far?
We had a slow start, but We were picking up towards the end. Now we're doing pretty good. A little late to catch up, but we'll be all set for next year.
That's, I guess, the key is to keep the momentum going type thing.
Yeah, we got to keep the car working good, and every day, every week you learn something new. You got to learn it for next year. Start over.
What sorts of, I know, Sean there, you're the owner of the car. He was talking about a couple engine problems and things like that.
Yeah, we blew an engine up, and we got an old one at the junkyard, and we put a set of rings and bearings in it, still an old motor. We ruined the bearings in it again after that. We're just hoping it'll last another couple of weeks so we can build one for the winter.
Okay, Grant, your next race is the feature race, and how do you feel about going into the feature, coming into it?
Feeling pretty good tonight. The car's working good, and just as good a chance as anybody today.
I guess that's the big thing here. Anyone could win on a given night.
All the cars are so close and even, it's hard to say who's going to win. You just fall in the best spot wins. The guy that stays out of trouble.
Anything else you'd like to add? Anyone you'd like to thank and mention, anything like that?
I'd like to thank Sean there. He owns the car, and Eric, Sean's father, he helps out an awful lot with it.
And those are the Courier boys.
They're the Couriers, yeah.
Okay, Grant, thanks a lot. Good luck in the future.
Thank you.
Okay, that's Grant Artis, the winner of the Street Stock Dash, and we'll be back after this.
Each year in Canada, hundreds of fires are started by young children playing with lighters and matches. Teach your children that lighters and matches are not toys. And keep lighters and matches out of sight and out of reach of children. The consequences couldn't be more deadly. A message from Health Canada and this broadcaster.
And here we are. The cars are on the track for the Sportsman Dash. Should be a good race. Again, these Sportsman Dashes, Dennis, count 10 points. And the way the points are scored in these three classes here, the winner gets 100 points, and each car below him gets 2 less. So you can see 10 points amount to a pretty healthy amount to have. So these dashes become quite important towards the end of the year when the points race is on. If you can pick up 10 points in one of these dashes, that can give you a good leap on a guy who maybe finished one spot ahead of you for 3 weeks in a row.
Can make the difference between first and second, actually.
I expect we'll see them run pretty hard. It's coming down to the crunch here now. It's that time of year when the points are on everybody's mind. You see Chuck Henderson there get that black flag rolled up and pointing it before the cars even start. So he certainly wants someone to know that he's watching them.
Big brother is watching from the stands.
They're doubled up. The pace car will probably leave the track this time. Pretty much ready to go. The 33 car, Charlie Wilkins, on the inside of Apples Paley. And we have Chris Glenn, and I believe that's Nevin Mullen. Can't see the number, but I think that's either Mullen or Smith outside him.
And here they come.
Here they come. Green flag's out.
And Apples Paley takes the lead off the first turn. Took advantage of...
Certainly a nice move on Apple's part there, wasn't it?
Took a nice advantage of Charlie Wilkins going sideways there off the start.
Oh, Wilkins hard into the back of Paley.
Knocking at the back door there. Saying push over.
Merlin Smith sits and watches. So it's Apples Paley, Charlie Wilkins, Chris Glenn, and Merlin Smith for third. Well, Merlin Smith has come up and is challenging Wilkins for second place.
Seems to have the horsepower to get them on the straightaway. Look at that. There he goes.
He tucks down in front, and there
second.
he does. So the order is Paley, Smith, and Wilkins. Merlin Smith's going to give Apples a run for that first place now. He's immediately going to the outside. No, decides he tuck it back in. Not going to be an easy job to get around Apples. He's got a lot of experience here. But Smith is certainly giving it a valiant effort. The rest of the cars...
working him on the outside again.
I don't think anybody else has changed positions, Dennis. Everybody else is right where they started. But there's Smith making a run at Paley down the backstretch. Pretty even. Try him again on the home stretch. Here they come.
5 laps done. Door-to-door racing.
Door handle to door handle through turn 1 to turn 2.
I think he might just pull up on this lap.
It's taken him a while, but Smith is giving Apples an awful push. That first place.
Apples Paley not one to give up, though.
We'll see. This will be the telltale if he's got enough horsepower down this backstretch to get tucked down in front. And I don't think so.
No way.
side-by-side racing. 4 laps in a row now. Smith's got him.
Smith run really strong in that second groove.
He just can't seem to
there
get
he goes.
down
He
in front, but there he has it. So Smith now has a handle on first place. So
2 laps to go.
Apples in the second. Wilkins, who started on the pole in third. The 46 car of Troy Ham holding down 4th place, having just passed Chris Glenn. The white flag is out. One more trip around the track for Merlin Smith and Apples Paley, 1-2. Wilkins and now the 46 car of Troy Ham putting a little push on Wilkins to try to get that 3rd place, and he's
working on it. I think he may have it.
Wilkins got a little loose in turn 2 there. And
he can hold that inside line around this turn. He may just, look at that. There he goes.
And that's the way it'll finish. So it's Merlin Smith, Apples Paley, Troy Ham, Charlie Wilkins, Chris Glenn. Then I believe it will be Nevin Mullen, Randy Moore, Hokey Wolf, and Chris Brine.
That was a nice, clean, tight race.
Seen a couple of good, clean, tight races here this afternoon, Dennis, and it should make a good prelude for this monster feature we're going to see here this afternoon.
Really looking forward to that.
There's
going to be some fine, fine racing.
As we started to say in the last race, Scotty Fraser, having had his worst finish of the season last night in Antigonish, had to settle for 2nd place. Must have just about broke his heart after 11 wins in a row.
Yeah.
And that's really a feat that's brand new, unprecedented. Nobody in the MASCAR Tour's 15 or 20 year history has ever owned the Tour the way that Scott Fraser does this year, and we'll be looking forward to seeing Scotty's father, Frank. That's Fearless Frank, legend in his own right, racing here a little later on this afternoon. Well, Dennis, I think maybe we should take a little break here. We see the 25 car, Merlin Smith, pulling up to give the checkered flag black. So Jack will be down in the pit there. Jack Carr will be in the pit having a little word with Merlin Smith. And we'll be back with the feature races before very long.
In the former Yugoslavia, civilians are victims of war. With no food, no water, no medical supplies. Your $45 can provide a town with water, a hospital with supplies, or a family of 4 with food for 1 full month. Help us help others. Call your local Red Cross now.
Welcome back to NBIS. You're watching MB Motorsports on Fundy Community Television. I have now with me Merlin Smith. He is the winner of the Sportsman Dash. Merlin, how did you think your car was working there? You took it away. You had about a car length there near the end.
Yeah, the car was working really good. Apples gave me an awful good run. He ran really clean, and the car just hooked up really good this race.
About halfway through, you made the move, and you're out on the outside there for about a few laps anyway. Did you think you'd get around him?
I thought I could there. Charlie is pushing a little bit, and I figured if I could make it by him, I thought I could get by him.
How's the car working anyway? All year, up and down season?
Yeah, really up and down. The first year we had a really bad engine problem. We had head bolts moving on us, and we pretty well put us out of the points race because of it. And lately we've been doing pretty good with the odd bad week or whatever, but doing pretty good.
What do you think of this track? I know there's a lot of mixed feelings about it. What do you think of it?
I like it. I haven't raced any other track either, but this is only my 2nd year, and I seem to like it. I like to have the straights a little bit wider, just that little bit extra run on, but it's all right.
How do you feel going into the feature race?
I think we're going to do pretty good. I think we should, that race there should give us a pretty good spot, I think, and I think we can do pretty good if we keep out of accidents.
Yeah. And another thing, you won Rookie of the Year last year?
No, I never.
Oh, you never won that?
No. Matt Harris did, I believe.
And what do you think of some of the drivers, Matt Harris, you mentioned, in this field?
Everybody's doing really good. We're running really clean lately. It's been haven't had very many cautions, which is really nice. Cautions are really hard to go anywhere because you don't have time to move. And we've been running really good lately, and everybody's doing a really good job.
How's next year looking, or are you even thinking of next year yet?
Well, this year here our plans were to get a checkered flag, and we've done that. And I think maybe next year we'll go for the points championship, maybe. Hopefully, if we do good and everything, and I think we could do it.
Okay, Merlin, thanks a lot, and good luck in the feature.
Well, thank you.
Okay, that's Merlin Smith. He won the Dash in the Sportsman feature. and you're watching MB Motorsports.
Well, here we are, Dennis. It's time for the feature races. They're all set to go. We're going to get the street stock racers. They'll be coming out the pit. We see the pace car sitting in the pit road entrance area there. We'll have 20 laps of street stock racing. Then we'll have 25 laps of sportsman, and then, of course, the McCurley Millen 150. So we should be in for some fun here this afternoon. Here they come. Looks like Thomas Shirley's got the pole. The 2-car Kevin Smith following him. The 16 is Kevin Dunster. The 54 car, the new paint job on Eric LeBerc's machine, green and black. The 6 car is Brent Langell. The 48 is Robert Miner. Then we'll see the 10 car of Troy Frost. 64 is Mike Finley, another one of the base runners. And Grant Artis in the 13 car. The 88 racing Ronnie Mercereau, Tracy. The 43 car is Chris Sharp. 47 is Troy Carhart. Troy's only a young man, Dennis. 17 years old or something.
Wow.
Started racing here last year. And really this year has come ahead leaps and bounds. He's really been a contender there. Showed up in the winner's circle a couple of times. The 66 car following him is Bradley Hogan, not to be confused with Bradley Logan in the sportsman class. And making the way towards the back, and the way these things run now, you'll see all the faster cars, the cars that have most consistently showed up in the winner's circle, will be running at the rear of this pack. That 61 is Jerry Tremblay from Base Gagetown, and he's got Hokey Wolf on his back bumper. And the 12 car of Glenn Knott inside him. The 33, of course, is Dave Smith. But they'll make one lap around here with the pace car and then hopefully go racing. Oh, here comes a bunch more. Kevin Curry in the 42. Watch for him to get up through the field very good. Did I mention Kevin Curry, what a nice guy he is, and just a wonderful race car driver? And
actually, you haven't.
No, I haven't. Well, I thought I'd do that there. I know Kevin's feelings were hurt a little bit. I gave him a little grinding here last week running on the pack. So I just thought I'd say what a wonderful person he is, and a great race car driver.
23 cars running this race, Huey, so we should be in for a few thrills and spills, to say the least. You get this many street stockers out there, there's always a little bit of bumping and grinding for position.
I think bumping and grinding will be the word for this. The 83 car of Wade Thompson next to the 22 or Gerald Nickerson. I guess Gerald Nickerson is no longer with us, and I don't have the name for the new driver on that 22 car, Dennis.
That's right. Gerald had transferred out west.
Yes, he did. It's a shame to see him go. Gerald's been here with us for 3 years. And
very good racer, good sportsman.
Fierce competitor and good sportsman indeed. Well, here they come. They're approaching the line slowly. As you'll find with these street stocks, they come as slow as they can to that white line to try to make advantage of any extra horsepower they may have. But it's Thomas Shirley down the home stretch. And the 2-car Kevin Smith on the outside. Now it's going to be interesting to see whether Kevin Dunster can stay close enough to Thomas Shirley's bumper to lock Kevin Smith on the outside or not. A whole bunch, one lap complete, pretty much in the order they started in. 3 wide down the home stretch there for a minute, Dennis. Getting a little hectic already.
Everyone's behaving themselves so far, though.
Very, very much like the Vanier Highway at supper time there right now.
3
Here
wide.
Here comes Jerry Tremblay on the outside going 3 wide, and he's gained a couple of places.
That's a gutsy move, though, Huey.
It was a gutsy move indeed. And as we suspected might happen, you see the 2-car Kevin Smith has got locked in the outside groove, and the train's going by underneath him. He's lost a lot of positions, and looks like he may be in danger of losing another one to Troy Carhart. Troy's on his bumper, and I do mean on his bumper. Not close. Dale Knorr watching for his chance. So it's Tom Shirley and Brent Langell.
Oh, beautiful move
Grant Artis.
By Grant Artis to get by. Down the number 2 spot there, and high in the back. He's pushing it for the lead right now.
And if he another lap like that, he'll have it. with Tom Shirley, Grant Artis, and Brent Langell now, and Artis is going right for the front.
That car's running very well, Huey.
He seems to be hooked up there pretty good today. So it's Artis, Shirley, and Langell at this moment as they pair up again for the home stretch. Artis almost has enough to pull down in that front, in front of the car 69 for the first place, but not quite.
Just can't seem to get past that front fender.
Shirley just seems to be out-braking him a little, maybe just the advantage of that larger car. He's getting a little deeper in the corners before he has to brake.
And they're sharing a little bit of body paint right now.
Yeah, some of these cars have a lot of colors on them by the time the season ends. So it's Tom Shirley, Grant Artis, Brent Langell, and Chris Sharp. Chris Sharp's a contender. You want to keep an eye on him. He could come out of that schmozzle at the head of this thing any moment, as he's done before here.
Nice bit there. Artis is taking the lead.
And gets a little wrap on his back bumper for his trouble.
Yeah.
Shirley gets the black flag pointed at him for that little move.
So keep your knuckles to yourself. Keep them off the door.
Not the place to take out your frustration. Shirley got really high on Chris Sharp that time, Dennis, going through turns 1 and 2 there, too.
Well, he was running a bit loose in the prelims.
So it's Artis, Shirley, and Sharp at this point in time. Langell having dropped back to 4th place now. As Sharp makes a run at Thomas Shirley in the 69 car. Artis getting a fairly comfortable lead now. If the cautions doesn't come out, that could look good for him.
Looking mighty fine up there.
See a little action at the back. Most of the cars are almost where they started. Hokie Wolf has gained a couple of positions. Gerald Tremblay has gained several positions. And Kevin Curry coming behind Hokie Wolf, gaining a couple.
I think Chris Sharp's still putting the pressure on there, trying to take away that number 2 spot.
Good race.
Thomas Shirley.
Good race for 2nd place. Langell gets loose. So Shirley and Sharp battling it out for 2nd place through the turns once more. As Artis continues to extend his lead, the longer Shirley and Sharp battle side by side for that 2nd place, the better it is for Grant Artis, who's free to run away from the pack. Like a Sunday drive out here this afternoon, Dennis. Nice clean race.
Yeah.
Kevin Dunster gets loose, gets 2 wheels in the dirt over in turn 1 and through turn 2.
No damage. He's back on. No yellow flag.
He's going to the
pit.
pits. Maybe had a tire problem or something, Dennis. There didn't seem to be any real action leading up to him leaving the track there. In turns 1 and 2. Maybe he's got a tire gone bad or something's given away in his suspension, as he did make his way directly to the pits.
Grant Artis was about a third of a lap over the 2nd place car.
We've got 15 laps of this in already, Dennis. This is going to be a quick race.
Matter of fact, Artis is looks like he's going to be lapping some traffic here shortly.
Yeah. Chuck Henderson not having any work at all this time. He's just dozing through the whole race, just standing there waiting to wave the checkers.
2 laps left to go, and
there's the signal, the double flags for 2 laps as Chris Sharp and Thomas Shirley continue to battle for 2nd place. I think Sharp just took that as I was speaking, Dennis. He finally got down in front of Thomas Shirley, got another little wrap. Shirley seems to have a habit of giving everybody who passes them a little tap for their trouble.
Dave Muir getting the blue with the yellow stripe, meaning faster car approaching. Pull over.
Pull over. I know David Muir was talking last night to some of the boys. He was up late after midnight last night working on that car. Had to replace his rear axle and some brake work and a bunch of things. That's quite a big car. That's probably the only one out here, that 32 car, that runs in low gear. Turns a higher engine speed, taller rear end gears, and runs in low gear. The rest of them, well,
run the 2nd.
And they say, speak of the devil, David Muir.
Oh, we had a little altercation there off the... We've got some people connected there.
Yeah. Kevin Curry and Jerry Tremblay somehow seem to get hooked together right at the end of that race.
And not
Curry.
one yellow flag in that whole race.
Not a caution. Dennis, I wonder if we could call down
blew
to
an
the
engine or blew a tire or something on the other side there.
I wonder if we could call down and get them to replay that finish. I'd like to see again what was going on between Jerry Tremblay and Kevin Curry there towards the end of that race. Mitch, have we got that for replay? We'll have a look here. You can see the fair altercation going on between Kevin Curry in the 42 car and Jerry Tremblay in the 61.
Grant Ardis taking his victory lap right now.
See if we
I
can,
don't believe we have that.
The boys are rooting around there trying to find that replay while Grant Ardis takes his victory lap. As you say, the finish being Grant Ardis, Chris Sharp in the 43, and Thomas Shirley in the 69.
There we have it, 1, 2, 3.
As they were.
Perhaps, Huey, we should take a break here and go to Jack Carr, who's down in the pits. And we'll be back just a...
Is that Jack Race Car?
Jack Race Car, that's
Jack
right.
Jack Race Car, yes,
and
indeed.
we'll be back in just a few
He'll
minutes.
be down there talking to Grant Ardis in a couple of minutes, folks, and we'll be right back with you with the feature race for the sportsman class. Hang with us.
Human survival depends on the Earth, on our planet's astonishing fertility. But what happens when the soil dries up and blows away? On Canada's prairies, on Africa's plains, precious topsoil is disappearing. Hi, I'm Bruce Coburn. Almost a third of the Earth's land surface is threatened by drought and desertification, and that means the lives of 1 billion people are at risk. The Earth can heal itself, but it needs help. People in developing countries are reclaiming their damaged land, restoring its lost fertility with the help of Canadian organizations like USC Canada. Worldwide, countries including Canada are starting to collaborate in the fight against desertification, working to ratify an international treaty. It's our future that's at stake. Together, we can bring the harvest home. Call 1-800-5656-USC.
Hi, welcome to New Brunswick Motorsports on Fundy Community Television. I've got Grant Ardis and Sean Currier from the number 13 car. Grant, you just came off the track, and this is your second feature all-time and second this year. How do you feel?
Feel pretty good tonight.
I think around nine laps into it, that's when you started to make the move. Did you think then that you could pass them and then take the lead?
I was pretty sure. I had a couple of cars out front that I knew were a little bit slower. I got by them before tonight. I figured I could do her again.
And this car's running pretty good. You must be pretty happy as well.
We're real happy tonight. I think we're gonna do some work to the motor for the 100 lap next week, but other than that, we're handling good.
Talk about Tom Shirley. Have you been racing much against him?
Well, Tom Shirley's been racing with us most of this year. Pretty good fellow to run with.
Yeah, I think it must have been about 5 laps. You guys were neck and neck there, and then you finally took the lead.
Yeah, Tom's car it wasn't working so well. He ruined the motor. He's got a new motor now. He's running a little harder. It's harder to get by him now.
This class, more and more, it seems to be more and more cars are joining this class. You're finding that?
Yeah, there's too many cars right now. They've got to do something. They're running an A and a B feature or something. There's too many fellas sitting on the trailer every week.
Yeah. What do you think of the track?
It's a good track to run on. The new owners are doing a half-decent job, and they're getting better all the time.
How's your pit crew? I know we've got Sean here. We're joined by Sean Currier, the owner of the car and the crew chief. How's your pit crew? How does that help?
Oh, great help. We got Sean's father, and Sean and I generally do all the work. Every once in a while, we have a few fellas drop in and help us. But we do most of it. Bobby Dickinson helps us out a lot.
Okay. I guess it's pretty important to have a good pit crew to have a good car.
It's real important. If something goes wrong, the boys got to be able to fix it. We get Bobby Dickinson helping us with the motor, and he's real good at it. So.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add? Anyone you'd like to thank or mention?
Just Bobby and Eric and Sean and Shamrock Dry Cleaners and Maritime Decorators and Herbie Culver. And Herbie's one of our best sponsors.
He's pretty popular here at this racetrack.
Yeah, Herbie's name's on pretty near every car here.
Okay, we have Sean Currier. You're the owner of this car, Sean, and this is your second year in the racing. How do you feel about winning this race tonight?
Oh, it's a great feeling. We've been working hard all year, and it's good to get a win. And especially tonight, we won all 3 events, and it's exciting thing.
A lot of people may be under the impression that this is only the Sunday afternoon time, and after Sunday you're through racing and you come back the next Sunday. What do you think of that?
Oh, it's more than a Sunday afternoon at the racetrack. We usually take the day after the race is off, and then we start in the car after that, and we work all week to try to make it run half decent again the next weekend.
How important to you, you're the pit crew, or you're the pit crew chief and the owner, how important is it to have a good staff underneath you?
Well, you gotta have the cooperation more than anything between everybody, and to make stuff work. And I guess this tonight we had it all together.
I know your dad helps out a lot, and then your sister. How important is your family and support staff that way?
Dad's a big help. He spends a lot more money on the car than the rest of us do right now. Money's getting tight, and this weekend Dad bought us a set of tires, and I think that's why we run so well tonight.
Anything else you'd like to add, Sean?
I'd like to thank our sponsors, my father and Bob Dixon, and thank Grant for doing such a good job behind the wheel.
And the family for putting up with us.
Yeah, and our wives for putting up with us.
Okay, thank you, guys. That's Sean Currier, the owner of car number 13, and Grant Artis, the driver of number 13, the winner of the Street Stock main event here at New Brunswick International Speedway. We'll be back after this.
It can happen in mere seconds. It can happen while you're in the house. The thing is, it should never happen. Keep lighters and matches out of sight and out of reach of children. The consequences couldn't be more deadly. A message from Health Canada and this broadcaster.
We're all set to start the sportsman feature, Dennis. The cars are on the track. That's the 35 car, Kevin Moore, that has the pole. And I believe Ron Mercereau. No, that's not Ron Mercereau. That's Lloyd Garnett in the 02 car following him. The 9 is Leon Christie. The 00 car is Ron Mercereau. The 14 is Chris Glenn. The 33 is Charlie Wilkins. The 25 is Merlin Smith. The 90 is Frankie Lowe. And they're ready to run. I think there's got to be some more cars here, Dennis. Where's the rest of the field here for the sportsman?
Bottleneck down
feature?
The pits right now.
Seems to be.
Here we go.
Here they come. That's David O'Leary in the 4 car. And 61 is racing Randy McCoy. As Wade calls him, Randy McCoy, the stock car boy.
Donnie Shields, that beautiful, beautiful car. I just love that
little
car.
75. Yeah, that little Chevy Nova. The 46 car is Troy Ham. The 69 is Brian Gillespie. The 10 is Chris Brine. The 95 is Apple Paley. The number 3 is Hokey Wolf. In the sportsman car, that's right. Hokey driving 2, at least for now. As we mentioned, the 56 car in the street class that Hokey's been driving all season, they're ready to sell now. So anybody was looking for a car, wanted to get into some street stock racing and try their hand, that would certainly be a good one to buy. That car has been just unbeatable here all season long.
Well, I'll accept when you drove it, Huey, but we're not going to mention that.
Yeah, well, let's not get into that too much, Dennis. It was, I couldn't help it. They unhooked the throttle or something. In any case, Bradley Logan in the 37 car, inside Robert Lee in the 41. General Robert Lee certainly been a story here this year, Dennis. He's just been showing up and winning and running a fine race, and a fine young man, real sportsman.
Really competitive. We were speaking with him in the pits there not long ago, and very nice guy, very nice gentleman.
Yep, and his parents obviously have a good sense of humor, because his real name is Robert E. Lee. Yeah, you can't beat that. And, of course, the 5 car is Mark Arsenault visiting with us from Moncton this week, or the Moncton area, we probably should say. I'm not sure if he's from Moncton proper, but he races mostly in Moncton. And I think this is the first time that we've seen Mark Arsenault here this season, at least. So they're packing them up. It looks like Robert Lee has been moved up to the outside of the second row, give him the 4th place start. So the order's changing just a little bit. So it will be Kevin Moore, Lloyd Garnett, and then Leon Christie and Robert Lee Ron Mercereau and Chris Glenn, Charlie Wilkins, and Merlin. Is that Merlin Smith's 25 car there? Yeah, Merlin Smith's 25 car. Frankie Lowe and David O'Leary in row 6. Randy McCoy, Donnie Shields, Troy Ham and Brian Gillespie, Chris Bryan and Apples Paley, Hokey Wolf and Nevin Mullen. And then they just can't seem to decide who's beside who in that last row there. I think that's Bradley Logan on the inside, and maybe Pat Kilbride. Can't tell. Marshall Goodwin drove that 43 car some. Pat Kilbride has driven the 43 car some, and Tim Berrio was in it last week. So one of those three people are in that 43 car for sure. The 34 is Randy Moore. 42 is Steve Rogers. And, of course, the 5, as we mentioned, Mark Arsenault. One more lap, and they're going to go racing. "25 laps for the sportsman cars. And we'll see if they follow the lead of the street class and run a caution-free race here. I know that's Steve Byrne's favorite.
The organizers are accusing you of jinxing the race already, Huey.
Well, that happened one race earlier this year. I mentioned that only to see the caution flag come out and never go away. Here they come. Garnett and Kevin Moore down the home stretch. And Moore had more than enough car for Garnett. Leaps out to an early lead. Leon Christie slipping naturally into second place, being on the inside of the first row.
Apples Bailey off the track up to
Apples is down. He's going to recover that, I think. There's not going to be a caution flag on that.
Nope,
Garnett's locked on the outside. Dennis and the whole field's going by him. I noticed that Lloyd Garnett hasn't got that purple flame coming out of his exhaust this week that he had before.
That's right.
That might have something to do with it not going quite as fast. Ron Mercereau seems really loose down. You notice when he goes through these turns, he seems to be sliding a little more than usual.
Chris Glenn, number 14, was doing a bit of slipping and sliding there, too, earlier.
Merlin Smith has gained a couple of spots. He's on the outside trying to make a run. He reels in Charlie Wilkins. So it's Moore, Christie, and Mercereau, followed by General Robert Lee. You boys want to look out, because General Robert Lee doesn't like running in fourth place. I know that's a particular peeve of his. He doesn't like running in fourth place. Not crazy about third. Doesn't even care that much for second. First is where he wants to be.
He's sort of snooping on the outside there.
He's going to maybe just waiting for the tires to warm up and get that thing hooked up a little bit, but Robert Lee doesn't seem remotely interested in coming down the inside lane. He's going to stay up there in the center one and race. Get a little loose coming out of turn 4 there. Perhaps a little mud on the track. But at this point in time, Kevin Moore seems to have a pretty good lock on first place. The field spreads out some. Pretty good race going on back there for 6th place there with David O'Leary, Frankie Lowe. Make that 10th place, Dennis. Now, O'Leary seemed to have a little more horsepower down the straights for sure.
He may just pull in on this one. There he goes.
Yeah, seems to have a handle on it.
Up front, not a lot has changed.
No. Apple Paley bringing up the rear. Apple seems to be off the pace a little bit, Dennis.
That's unusual for him to be running there.
He may have bent something when he slid across the pit entrance there. He got loose in turn 4 and went through the mud and across the pit entrance pretty rough. And
nice little race going on for 5th spot right now.
Indeed. Lloyd Garnett
and Merlin
Smith. So it's Moore, Christie, Mercereau, Robert Lee, and Merlin Smith.
Robert Lee may lose that 4th spot right in that high bed. He did indeed.
Merlin Smith gets a little loose, but gets the spot. Slips past Robert Lee, who now decides to come down in. Figured he had enough of that high groove. Didn't get the third place he wanted and wound it up in fifth. See, Merlin Smith's having a hell of a day here, Dennis.
He's really pushing here.
He certainly in the dash and qualifying races was running real good and putting on quite a show here in the feature. Field pretty much single file now. Nice clean race being run here. No caution flag.
Bradley Logan, too, is moving up on the outside. He's picked up about 4 or 5 spots here in the last couple of laps.
Bradley's another one not content to sit back for too long. He's got a good car and he's a good driver.
That thing's sticking well to the track today, too. He's running the outside line much better than people are running the inside line.
Sure, he certainly gained some ground. Another 10 cars for him to get by before he gets into contention, but here 2 weeks ago, we watched Bradley start from the rear 4 times in one race, having to go back to the pits and back to the pits, and 4 times he picked his way up through the field to the top 3 cars, only to have to return to the pits and start at the rear again. Pretty good crash going on over there, Dennis. In
yellow flag.
Turns 1 and 2.
We've got 1, 2,
Chris
3,
Bryan,
4, 5, 6 cars involved.
So Chris Bryan, Hokie Wolf, Apples Paley, Nevin Mullen. I think that's Tim Berrio driving the 43 car today, all involved in that. I think really Nevin Mullen and Apples Paley being the principals. Hokie Wolf's coming out not looking like he has much damage. It looks like Tim Berrio is going to get back on the track under his own steam. His car doesn't look hurt. Certainly the cars of Nevin Mullen and Apples Paley are both damaged.
Nevin Mullen getting out of his car now, so he must be done for the day.
Got some at least sheet metal damage there. He may be able to get that down in the pits and get that sheet metal off and get back in the race, Dennis. These cars are pretty tough.
Oh, yes.
They'll take quite a beating and keep on racing sometimes. But they're going to be a little while getting that mess cleaned up there. The 2 cars seem to be kind of welded into one there at the moment. We see the wrecker arriving on the scene. A couple of the track stewards are already there. Yeah. Well, Dennis, maybe we'll take a break here for a minute while they clean that mess up, and let's have a look at our pit tips. We were out last week, Mitchell and I and some of the boys, and Jerry Curtis from Clark Seville was kind enough to let us use his garage, and we had one of the tech men in, Donnie Greer, and Jerry and some of his crew, and we went through some of the information that the people who aren't regular watchers just may not have picked up on to do with the rules stuff. Let's have a listen to this.
Pit Tips with Huey York.
Jerry, we talked all about power. I guess the whole trick then is to get it on the road, eh?
There's no question, yeah, about that. You need a lot of suspension parts and of different spring rates and that type of thing to get these things hooked to the track. This particular car here runs what they call a coilover spring. Coilover spring means that is somewhat different than what the conventional springs that you have on your street cars. The coilover type spring is a tighter wrap spring, but does the same particular type of job as a bigger spring. You can run different rates. We've tried, when I say rates, the different spring rates are anywhere from 300 to 800 pounds of pressure. On this particular track down here at the Brunswick International Speedway, we've tried 3 different sets of springs. The ones that we have on the car here now seem to work the best. If you like it gives the car a little bit more bite, and that's what we're after at this racetrack. You need a lot of bite coming off the corners. When I mean bite, it means that the tire needs to hook up real hard coming off the corners to keep it straight going down the straightaway.
Look at the cars, Dennis. As the cars make their way one more time around the track before this start, the parking lot is jammed full. So you door handle to door handle, and the stands are crowded. I mean, there's complete strangers sitting on each other's knees here, and the stands are jammed in hard.
Racing does make it cozy.
We're talking 5,000 plus here, I would guess. I don't remember seeing a larger crowd here at New Brunswick International Speedway than we have today.
I heard the track announcer say this was the largest in the history of NBIS. So
that would not surprise me one little bit. I hadn't heard that, but it certainly is wall to wall here today. The pit seats are all full. All the grandstands are full. And the cars are ready to come. And looks like we're going to have Kevin Moore and Leon Christie duking the route for the first turn to see who's going to lead this thing.
We've lost Apples Paley.
Moore having led the first 16 laps. Yeah, you're right, Dennis. Apples is gone.
Apples is gone.
Kevin Moore and Leon Christie down the home stretch. Christie goes to the outside, but not really enough power, I don't think. Kevin Moore holds him off fairly well. That little group of 5 at the front is going to be interesting to watch. Merlin Smith,
Bradley Logan having
Robert
problems
Lee are
getting into
both
the
runners.
pits.
They're unfortunate for Bradley Logan, was having a good race. He'd worked his way up quite a bit. As things change quite drastically at the front, Christie gets a little loose. Mercereau goes by him, and so does Robert Lee. Robert Lee now up to 3rd spot, having lost his 4th position to Merlin Smith. On that shuffle, that seemed to work to Robert Lee's advantage. He's now running in 3rd and making a run at Mercereau.
Robert Lee a little loose there.
Robert got a little loose, and Christie got into his back end, making him more loose. Robert Lee having problems sliding in the dirt to the far end of the track. It looks like he's going to recover the thing, get it back over just in time to pick up the caution as a big slide happens at the top of turn 2. It looks like we have
Donnie Shields,
Frankie Lowe, Lloyd Garnett was involved. The 34 car, Randy Moore, was involved for sure. This may work very much to Robert Lee's advantage. Robert Lee having moved up to 3rd place on that lap, and then got loose and got a little push for his trouble out of turn 1. But when they roll this back a lap, that will probably see Robert Lee.
A few people exchanging pleasantries after that one.
Yes, little discussion going on between drivers. I guess not unlike a lot of sports. Dennis, sometimes we'll see the mix-up on the boards in a hockey game. The boys will indulge in a little heated discussion, for lack of a better term. And maybe we have a little bit of heated discussion here, only they use wrenches instead of hockey sticks.
It's all relative.
Oh, you can give a guy quite a tuning with a torque wrench, you know, a strong piece of pipe like that. Sir, one of those snap-on tools with the left ear. It's certainly not fun. See how the order's going to pan. It looks like Robert Lee has gone to the rear. Unfortunate for Robert Lee. He was putting on a good race there. Had just moved into 3rd place a lap prior to that. Got a little loose, and Leon Christie couldn't seem to get the brakes on fast enough. Gave him a little tap in the back end, which sort of helped him off the track.
Did a good job of holding the car off the dirt, though.
He really did. He had 2 wheels out all the way down the home stretch, so he was fighting that thing all the way along. See Robert Lee getting some directions here immediately in front of the grandstand.
Randy Moore being escorted via tow truck off the track right now.
Now there goes Robert Lee up around the outside of some of those cars, Dennis.
Possibly they determined that he wasn't at fault in that, and
maybe should return to his starting position. Robert Lee going down the backstretch very high. It doesn't look like he's going into the pit, so I would say he's going to start.
Well, he had lost several positions there when he went wide, and
he had, when he got wide, a couple of cars got underneath him, but it looks like he's being returned to the position that the officials have determined he was in at the time of that slide, which is kind of a good break for Robert Lee.
Lucky break for him.
And
not so lucky for...
I'm just sort of keeping one eye on the pit entrance there, Dennis, wondering if our friend Bradley Logan will make it back onto the track.
Not so lucky for Randy Moore, though.
Bradley's been just flying this year. He's had a whole handful of bad luck. He smashed his car a few times and had some mechanical difficulties. And as we said here last week, just put on a clinic, ran up through the pack 4 different times, only to have to return to the pits and start at the rear again. Very unfortunate.
Well, they say racing is 30% car, 30% driver, and 40% luck, so...
Probably a good.
Take the good with the bad.
Probably a good equation, Dennis. Let's see what we got for an order here now. It looks like the 35 car of Kevin Moore is going to start in the pole again with the 00 of Ron Mercereau on his outside. Merlin Smith in the 25 car will be on the inside of row 2, flanked by Leon Christie. The 33 car of Dave Smith will have Robert Lee in the 41 on his outside. Chris Glenn and David O'Leary will comprise row 4. Troy Ham in the 46 will be inside of Randy McCoy, that stock car boy, in 07. Then, of course, Brian Gillespie and Tim Berrio in 69 and 43, respectively. The number 5 car, Mark Arsenault from Moncton, visitor here this week inside a Hokie Wolf. This will be about the 4th week for Hokie Wolf in that number 3 Sportsman car, moving up from the street stock, which he dominated here throughout the season. The 42 car is Steve Rogers.
We're down to 16 cars from 22 that started, so
here's
a little battle of attrition going on.
Let's see, the pace car staying on the track. Looks like they're going to make at least one more lap before they start this one, Dennis.
Waiting for the flatbed to collect up Donnie Shields there and turn number 2 and escort him off the track. Free ride to the pits, as it were.
Coming once more slowly.
That's incredible. That's a new record here at the Speedway. So after this race is over, we will make the draw.
Yeah, I see a little smoke coming from the 25 car, Merlin Smith there, Dennis. I think he just gunned his engine there.
May have hurt something.
I don't know if that's a serious problem or doesn't seem to be smoking now, but as he was starting down the home stretch here in front of the crowd, he seemed to get his clutch in and give it a rev, and she puffed something that didn't look
too bad. He was running
there.
A fine race. A strong car today.
Yes, he did. He ran strong in the qualifiers earlier on as well. He's paired up. Basically, the order's not going to change here.
Oh, a couple more cars out of the pits here now.
There's Lloyd Garnett back on. Still no sign of Bradley Logan. There he comes. There's Bradley Logan, the 37 car.
Randy Moore made his way out earlier.
Bradley Logan, the hard luck kid here this season. He just doesn't seem to be able to buy a break. Yeah, not to say that he hasn't got any brakes, because of course we know that brakes are very necessary on these cars. But unlike signal lights and horns and wipers and things, all of which you notice are conspicuous by their absence.
This is true.
Here they come, Dennis.
Pace car is still out, so I think they're going to have a... Going to give them a couple more, maybe. Just getting Donnie Shields loaded onto the flatbed now and make their way around.
I'm sure those laps are a lot shorter to the pace car having air conditioning than they are in the top cars.
Stereo helps too.
Yeah,
no stereo in these race cars, you know.
We'll have to do a feature on that one of these weeks and see if we can tune in and find out what the pace car driver listens to on the radio when he's driving around there. Which station do you suppose?
No doubt it would have to be Capital FM, I would say. My own opinion now.
Yeah, I think they'd have an FM radio. That's a brand...
One would think.
That's a brand new Chevy he's got there. It's bound to have an FM radio in it.
And probably tuned to 106.9, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it could be. Then again, the Capital FM doesn't play any of my records, Dennis. He might tune to the country station. Don't know.
There's a reason we don't play your records, Huey, but we're not going to discuss that now.
Okay. I'd just as soon you leave that alone. Donnie Shields going off in rather undignified fashion, backwards on the wrecker. But that's a car who showed up here 3 years running that little Nova, always looking good, always running good. There's Donnie's been a contender in every race he started here.
And we're going to go one more lap here.
I think we'll probably get a start this time. There they go. That number 3 Goodwrench car immediately leaps out to half a lap lead there.
He'll pull off now.
Once he turns that yellow light off, it just flies.
Must take a lot of power, that light.
I wonder why the pace car has a number 3 on the side of it, Dennis. Have you ever tried to figure that out?
I don't know.
Here they come. Down the home stretch, Kevin Moore and Ron Mercereau. Mercereau gets a little bit of a leap in the straight, but immediately gives it back as they start through the corners. It's harder to hold that car on the outside of that corner. You really have to have a jump coming off of turn 4 across the start line to take the pole away from that pole setter. At this point in time, it looks like Kevin Moore, Merlin Smith, and Ronnie Mercereau
Whatever problem Smith had with the smoke seems to have cleared itself up. Cause
doesn't seem to be any problem with the way he's running right now.
Nope.
As they start to stretch out somewhat, Leon Christie moving up, trying to take that third position away from Ronnie Mercer on the 00 car. Has got up beside him a couple of times now. It doesn't seem to have quite the snuff to get it past. Merlin Smith trying to reel in Kevin Moore. Yellow flag is out. Dennis, I'm embarrassed to say I really don't know what happened there. I didn't see what brought that caution out. I see a bunch of dust on the far side of the track, but I didn't see anybody leaving it. Oh, here it is, down in behind the post in the center of the field.
Oh, yes, Randy Moore's off again.
Randy Moore in the 34 car.
He likes that spot right there. That's very, very near where he went off last time, too.
He was parked right there, that's right. He was parked right there a couple of cautions ago. So he's going to require some assistance to bring that thing around. Let's have a replay, Dennis, where we didn't see that and see what happened here. As they moved down the backstretch, well behind the action all by himself.
He seemed to get loose and go off.
I would say he's had a tire or a steering or some type of mechanical malfunction. That doesn't look like a driving accident, Dennis.
Or possibly there's a sign with his name on it over there, and he thought it was his parking spot. So.
Oh, I see. You can see from here, Dennis. I see now what happened is he was coming out of turn 2. Somebody has placed a no left turn sign over there on the corner, and of course, obeying the rules, he's kept that thing straight and landed right down the pucker brush there for his trouble.
And on that note, maybe we should go get just a few more tech tips. How's that sound?
Good idea.
Pit Tips with Huey York.
Donnie, what about transmissions? Everybody run what they want, or do you guys get into that too?
No, Huey, the street stock class, for instance, has to run an automatic transmission with a stock torque converter. Has to be an automatic 3-speed transmission. Sportsmen can run an automatic if they wish. A lot of them run a manual transmission, a 3-speed or a 4-speed manual. Now, Pro Stock, again, this class being a little more sophisticated, they run, this particular type runs a 4-speed transmission. They can run either a steel or an aluminum case. They have to run what's known as a 1-to-1 ratio in fourth in order to give them a 6-to-1 ratio rear end gear.
Is there something else you check periodically to see that the wheels are turned in the right number of times?
Yeah, we do. We jack them up in the back and we spin them and measure the amount of turns.
That's the ratios, right? Great. Thanks very much.
Gather round and hear a tale.
What be your name? Babe.
That will rouse your emotions.
The little pig's in trouble.
Stir your heart.
I want my mom.
And make you a believer. The surprise sleeper of 1995. And Academy Award nominee for Best Picture.
Looks like fun.
Babe, coming in October to TMN.
What is it, Mom? That's a pig.
Children.
You must understand, young woman, that you work for us and not the other way round.
But you would like to tell me how I must go about teaching the children to read.
I've told you what it is we want you to do, and that's enough.
Please, Mr. Clarence, would you take a look at this?
You'll not bother me with that.
No, but you see, sir, your son read this today. It is quite a difficult passage. It is from the Bible. This is what I use to teach him to read.
Ah, Mr. Clarence, why don't you just read it then?
Both of you know I cannot read a word.
Throughout most of our history, millions of Canadians have owed their education to young women who taught in one-room schoolhouses, much like this one.
The main focus of guiding is to try and prepare young women to be leaders of tomorrow, to take their place in society.
I always admire the people that can do so many things with their hands. I ask myself, gee, what can I do with my hands? I realize that I can mold future leaders.
I think that all it really takes to be a good guider is to want to work with the girls.
That's it. Everything else you can learn. It's great. It's really great.
Channel 10, Fundy Community Television, Fredericton.
Well, wasn't that interesting? And we're back ready to start this race again. They've got more pulled off the infield, and we're ready to go. At this point in time, Merlin Smith's outside Kevin Moore, and this may be the best chance that Merlin Smith has had today to take this first place.
22 laps complete now, Huey.
Does not have the horsepower, Dennis, going down that straight. Kevin Moore started on the pole, and he's in real good shape to stay there and win this thing. Leon Christie trying to get that third place away from Ron Mercereau. We see that's the white and the checkered being waved to tell them there's 2 laps left in this race. Smith makes a rush at Moore down the far side.
Merlin Smith is doing anything he possibly can.
Halfway by him, Dennis. Halfway by him with 1 lap left.
This is going to be a race to the finish.
Desperately to hold on to that one up as Kevin Moore gets a little loose and gets into the front of Ronnie Mercereau. Merlin Smith walks, and it looks like he's going to bring this thing under the checkers. Leon Christie parks her backwards up against the fence in turn 4. He rolled back down off, coming right back out on the track. That obviously looked a lot worse than it was. Quite a finish as Kevin Moore got loose on the far side and allowing Merlin Smith to pull away from him to quite a lead. And then in a completely unconnected incident, Leon Christie, who was making a run up the outside, lost his grip, got 2 wheels in the mud, and sent the car backwards up against the wire. Let's wind that back, Dennis, and have a look at this again as they come through turn 4. You can see Christie trying for the outside, loses it, rolls backwards up against the wire, gets the fans all dirty, but rolls back out on the track and drives away under his own power. So that's going to give Kevin Moore, I'm not sure if a second or a third place finish. I believe Kevin will come out of that with second place. Merlin Smith having dashed by to make his checker flag lap, but the cars are collected on the back side of the track, and Merlin Smith having a little trouble finding room to get around there with the checkered flag.
The wild and woolly finish.
Yes, it was.
Well,
let's have a little drink here. We'll get a drink of water and get back and get ready for this 150-lap feature. We'll be right back.
Sharing a healthier future with Participation. Today, many young people are not physically active on a regular basis, and they may face poor marks, health problems, and low self-esteem, crushing their potential, limiting their opportunities. Is this the future? At Participation, we're committed to finding answers, making a difference in your life, sharing a healthier future. Many professional educators believe that a regular physical education program is essential for students, learning teamwork, leadership, and lifelong skills. It works.
If you just focus on the mind, then they don't get a full crack at an education. Being educated physically is just as important as part of the learning process, as part of being a totally educated person.
If you have a good phys ed program, they can channel all that energy.
Regular phys ed programs are not a priority in some schools, and that's a serious concern to many parents and former school superintendent Dick Dodds.
The 3 R's are terribly important, and I suggest that physical education is really a 4th R. The foundation of the 3 R's is being physically fit.
For more information about the importance of regular physical education, call the Participation Information Line. Practical solutions for a better tomorrow. Sharing a healthier future. Participation.
We're with Merlin Smith, the winner of the 25-lap Sportsman feature. Merlin, how are you feeling right now?
Feel really good. I didn't know if I was going to get up there or not. Some pretty fast-running cars up there tonight, and we pulled it off.
With 2 laps to go, actually the final lap, that's when the 35 car spun out there a little bit, or got a little loose. Can you describe what happened there?
He was just trying to keep ahead of me, and I was gaining a little bit on him, and he was pushing a little harder, and the car got a little loose and hit the side of us. Worked out good. Pulled me around and straightened me out, and he got really loose on it. It worked out good for us.
I saw you guys talking there when you were lined up by the grandstand. What did you guys say to each other?
Oh, just congratulated me on on the race, whatever, and did a good job type deal.
Tempers, a lot of times, they get flared a little bit, but it's nice to see, you know, the nice sportsmanship at the racetrack.
Yeah, it's, most people are pretty good. A few people get a little hot-headed every now and again, but everybody's like that, I guess.
You've been running great all day.
Yeah, it's not bad. We got really loose in the middle of the feature. I think the track must be a little hot. We are really loose, and we had that caution and helped us. It cooled our tires back down and made us go up the front again.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I'd like to thank all my sponsors, pit crew, family. We've done a super job.
You mentioned family. I see your family out week in and week out. That must help a lot and must really give you a little boost.
Yeah, it's a big family event. It's something for all of us to get together and do. Works out pretty good.
What do you think of the crowd? This is the biggest crowd ever at New Brunswick International Speedway. Does that help motivate you, give you a little bit of adrenaline push?
It does. I don't really think it when I'm out there racing, but it's nice when they cheer me when I won there, yeah.
Okay, Merlin, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's Merlin Smith, the car number 25 and the winner of the 25-lap Sportsman feature.
And here it is, Dennis. This is what we've been waiting for, the McCurley Millen Pro Stock 150, the best of the best. Here's our starting order. The grid's been determined by the qualifying races. We're going to have Doug Stokes and Sean Tucker on the first row. This should be a race. It's going to be good to see. Kirk Tebow, of course, from Maine, and Johnny Ridgway from St. John on the second row. Jerry Curtis and the 97 car of Chris Duncan will comprise the third row. Larry Gulliver and Frank Fraser will be side by side in row 4. Glenn Rasmussen and Jerry O'Leary in the 31 car. Jerry O'Leary's been putting on some good laps here in the last couple of weeks.
Been running well.
And of course in row 6, Dale St. Peter and Tommy Betts will be side by side. Wayne Chase in the 7 car and Jimmy Somerville in the 88 will have the 79 car of Dana Duncan bringing up the rear.
Looks like a fine field.
The cars lined up here along the front of the thing as the starters will go through the official ceremonies here. The drivers are out of the cars walking around. We'll see the starters walk by and shake hands with each of them. Wish them good luck as they go. Dougie Stokes from Newfoundland and Sean Tucker on the front. Dougie Stokes, of course, having won one heat. Sean Tucker having won the other.
I noticed earlier you had the stopwatch going in the earlier heats.
Yes, I did.
Rather interesting to.
If my stopwatch is any indication, Dougie Stokes has got his hands full.
I would say so.
Tucker was putting on some savage laps there, probably half a second faster than we were clocking Dougie Stokes at during those heat races, Dennis, although they weren't running in the same heat. We were sort of grabbing their times at random, and Tucker's flying today. That 28 car, Kirk Tebow's a pretty thing, too.
Yes, it is.
Ford Thunderbird from... I can't remember now what town in Maine it is that...
Fort Fairfield, I think, isn't it?
Fort Fairfield, Maine, that's right. They come by. As we see...
Boys, it tells you something about the caliber of racing at this track when you attract...
As they come down, Chuck Henderson coming down, pointing out each driver. You'll hear the hoots coming out there. That was for Sean Tucker. There's a bunch of noise.
The hoots and the booze. You love him or you hate him. He's got...
That's the trouble with being Goliath.
That's right.
Everybody roots for David. Kirk Tebow. His hand, ceremonial handshake. Johnny Ridgway's pit crew scrubbing frantically on that windshield. Kirk Tebow. Chuck moves along to Johnny Ridgway. Johnny, of course, a regular runner here. Started when the track started. Been with us for most of the races here at New Brunswick International Speedway in that 32 car. They stop for a minute while the sponsors get rid for each car. Can't say enough about the sponsors in this class, Dennis. And this is a class without the sponsors, there just would not be a pro stock class.
Takes a lot of money to run this.
There would be far too few people with enough money to run this out of their pocket. As Jerry Curtis takes his accolades in the number 10 car, the Clark Old Chevy. Here he gives a little wave to the folks. And there's the elder of the two Duncan brothers, neither one of who is very old. Dana Duncan, the younger of these two, is still in his teens, I understand, just graduated high school last year, and I'm told he started driving a pro stock car when he was 16 years old.
Wow.
Dana, of course, I think is 2 or 3 years older, or Chris rather, in the 97 car is 2 or 3 years older than Dana, and maybe been racing for just another year or two. And that brings us to our points leader. That's the 51 car, Larry Gulliver. Awful nice fellow, Larry Gulliver. Very soft-spoken, unassuming, real Jekyll and Hyde thing. When you talk to Larry on the street, he's one person, and when he's on the racetrack, he is someone totally different. I guess that's his alter ego coming out.
Saves his yah-yahs for the track.
The Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. No question. The way, as you can hear, Larry's got some fans here. Now, this brings us down to a real legend, Dennis, in the Maritimes when it comes to stock car racing. If you've ever been to a stock car race in the Maritimes, you know who Fearless Frankie Fraser is. Father, of course, of Scott Fraser, the phenom that has owned the mass car circuit this year.
Mm-hmm.
Frank has been just that competitive for a long time. Frank gives a wave and a big smile to the folks. Scott, good run today. I was talking to Scotty down in the pits just before the races started there. And they raced in Antigonish last night, and as I mentioned, his worst finish for the year, a second place.
Yeah.
And
he wanted to race here today, but he just couldn't get the car done in time. There was just no way possible.
Apparently there were some things to do to the car, and together with having to trailer it all night to be here in time to start the race, that pretty well.
But he did come up to see Dad race.
Yes,
which is
yes,
nice
indeed.
of him.
Down in the pits there with the crew as they introduce Glenn Rasmussen in 81. That's our one and only Dodge here, Dennis. Dodge Avenger, number 81 car, and he's been putting on quite a show this season. He's won some races here, been a contender all the way through, and really, it looked like he was really, really fast as long as Sean Tucker wasn't here.
Exactly.
Until Sean Tucker came back, he looked like a rocket, but we finally got to witness the two of them go tooth and tongue here last week, and Tucker, of course,
won the tail of the tape.
Yes, he did. When the measurement was done, he was the longest. And we have Jerry O'Leary in the 31 car, which he sponsors, of course, with his own dealership, O'Leary Pontiac. And there, the roar you hear for that one of the most popular drivers here, obviously at New Brunswick International Speedway, and I guess like Sean Tucker enjoys that same distinction. Dale St. Peter, the Caribou Kid, is to the Ford people here what Sean Tucker is to the Chev people, and when they introduce either one of them, it's just hard to tell who's cheering and who's booing. But Tommy Betts didn't hurt, gets his introduction with a little bit less noise. The 7's Wayne Chase. Wayne Chase bought that Pro Stock car that Jerry Curtis ran last year, and he's been having a pretty good season. He's managing to stay out of trouble most of the time, hasn't thinged it up too bad.
Well, that's the key to a lot of races.
Having a good run.
You stay out of trouble, you can place well.
Well, and Wayne has an interesting approach to the weight restrictions, too, you know, Dennis. They have a minimum weight that you have to make.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be less than a certain number of pounds.
That's true.
So what Wayne does is every race, just before he races, he eats 7 or 8 big slices of pizza. Gives him an extra couple of pounds, which, of course, he can then sweat off during the race.
Get the extra few pounds off.
And have that little bit of an edge when it comes to the end of the race.
Good strategy. Good strategy.
Jimmy Somerville, certainly Jimmy driving Dwayne McKay's car, started here last year, didn't have a real successful season, has done much better this year, hit some hard spots, but won some races too, got himself a checkered flag or two. And last but not least, the other Duncan brother, the one we're referring to, the younger of the two Duncan brothers, Dana. So that's bump and grind to those who love them. So here we should be good for the traditional call. I'm not sure who's going to make it for the gentlemen start your engines. Yep. Hear the roar. The engines start up. 16 of them, probably between 400 and 500 horsepower apiece. Backing out on the track, getting ready to come around.
Should be a fairly cool track today, too. Well, see, the clouds have moved in. And
we'll just have to watch that no one backs into anyone else's car here. These cars don't spend a lot of time going in reverse. So, make the way around, Stokes and Tucker. Stokes.
They're making their way around now, and Bay's car is sort of leading them. They haven't crossed off yet. We're probably looking at a couple of laps before they actually go.
Sure.
Stokes taking that #1 spot in the first heat, and Tucker. Should be interesting to see the start.
This is
they come around.
This is going to be exciting.
See if Tucker can actually pull away. He was, like you say, he was running about a half-second a lap faster than Stokes in his prelim.
Yeah, we'll have to see as they after they get the cars lined up here, Dennis. If we have a line, I think, on to Wade Wilson, my track announcer. Wade has a very entertaining and unique way of presenting these starts on a lot of occasions, and maybe if we can tap into his mic a little later on, as soon as they get the cars lined up, we'll start this race off with Wade. He's well known to the people here at the track. Does a great job.
Been doing it now for a few years. He not only calls the races, puts on a show as well.
Yes, he does. Very entertaining and a nice guy. Well, they make their way around the track in single file. They'll no doubt get the call to double this thing up as they come by this time. Chuck Henderson takes to the stands. So we have Dougie Stokes, Sean Tucker, Kirk Tebow on the 28 car, the 32 with Johnny Ridgway, the 10 is Jerry Curtis, the 97 is Chris Duncan, 51 is Larry Gulliver, the 23 is fearless Frankie Fraser, 81 is Glenn Rasmussen, his Dodge Avenger, the 31 is Jerry O'Leary in his Pontiac, the 00 is the Caribou Kid, Dale St. Peter in his T-Bird, the 93 is Tommy Betts, number 7 is Wayne Chase, followed by Jimmy Somerville in the 88 car, and having drawn the last spot is, of course, Dana Duncan. Starting to wind up the speed a little bit.
Gotta get those tires warmed up a touch so they'll stick to the asphalt.
Here they come. Laps to warm up behind the pace car. The number 3 Goodwrench car, of course, filling in for the pace car that Chuck Henderson smashed up here a couple of weeks ago. Well, accidents do happen, as we see here on the track.
This is true. That pace car is running at a pretty fast pace. Look up there, you know, for a street car.
Yeah, he's probably going 45 miles an hour. The other pace car, the one that Chuck smashed up, was quite a bit quicker than this pace car, I think, was to see. Five laps they'll run around here to get the tires warmed up and get things going. And we'll be underway. I think we maybe have one more left. They should have 3 or 4 of them in there by now. Well, as they come around, we'll see Chuck Henderson is giving them the yellow to go around one more time.
One more time.
Means they'll double this thing up the next time around.
For those viewing at home, if you don't have a drink, a sandwich in front of you, you might want to take a quick trip to the fridge while they're waiting to hit the green flag, because this is going to go for a while, and you don't want to leave the
150
TV
laps of fun as they come around in pairs this time.
Racing.
This is going to be a great start to see. Dougie Stokes is real fast. Sean Tucker's real fast. It's going to be interesting to see who can beat their way to the end of this home stretch the first time. And as I mentioned before, as they come around to start this thing, we're going to shift over to Wade Wilson and let you folks at home hear what the folks at the track hear when they're here watching. It's
row
This
4,
sport is
Glenn
really one that you
Rasmussen
gotta
and
come
Jerry
out and see.
O'Leary in
It
5,
makes a big
the
difference
Kid
watching
and
this on
Betts
TV and
in
being
6.
here at the track where you can
We've
smell it
got
and hear it.
Wayne Chase.
Here they come, the pace cars off the track.
By Dana Duncan.
Let's go over to Wade Wilson and hear how he starts this race.
They come, it's Dougie Stokes about to take the green flag with Sean Tucker, and we are underway. The green flag is out, and immediately Sean Tucker jumps into the early lead as he goes down the back stretch in car number 52, followed by Dougie Stokes and Kirk Tebow. It's 3 big horses at the front of the pack. It's Sean Tucker with the early lead. Dougie Stokes out of Newfoundland looks to the inside. They are hot and at it this afternoon. It's Tucker and Stokes, bumper to bumper with Kirk Tebow right there in third spot. It's Sean Tucker with the early lead in car number 52. Dougie Stokes running second. Kirk Tebow in third. Johnny Ridgway in fourth. And fifth belongs to Jerry Curtis. It's Tucker and Stokes, bumper to bumper, headed into turn number 3. The heat is on here at New Brunswick International Speedway this afternoon. It's Sean Tucker, Doug Stokes, 1-2, followed by Kirk Tebow. Back in the pack, we see Glenn Rasmussen and Larry Gulliver, bumper to bumper with Frankie Frazier in the hunt as well. Keep your eye on the 23 and the 81 and the 00 back in the pack. They are on the move. It's Sean Tucker with the lead. Dougie Stokes running second. Kirk Tebow is currently third.
As we pick it up, not much different than we expected. Sean Tucker bolted out to an immediate lead. Dennis.
Nice jump off the green flag there.
The first lap right straight down the straightaway, and coming into turn 1, he already had a good enough length on Dougie Stokes to get down on that inside lane.
And he's put a bit of blacktop between him and Dougie Stokes as well there.
He doesn't seem to be having any trouble fending him off. No doubt pacing himself somewhat. This is going to be a long race. 150 laps to put in here.
We've run 8 so far.
Great racing, Dennis. These lap times are moving. Sean Tucker well under the 14-second mark. So it's Tucker, Stokes, Tebow, Ridgway, and Curtis. Seems to be a race going on here. Glenn Rasmussen going by the Caribou Kid, Dale St. Peter, and making a run at Larry Gulliver. Whether he can get him or not, that seems to be where the race is right now. Down at the 81 car and the 51 car. Side by side, door handle to door handle, and boys is racing. Dale St. Peter, not to be left out of the hunt, is sticking in.
I'll get on the inside.
Tebow makes a run at Stokes, but gets loose going into turn 1 and has to back out of it. He's going to try it again. Tebow running right up on the rear end of Stokes. Trying to find some racing room to get around him. The battle between the 81 and 51 continuing tenaciously.
For 6th and 7th positions.
Rasmussen, I believe, has got him, Dennis.
Yes, he does.
He's got by
and here
the
comes Dale
51
St.
car.
Peter.
Dale St. Peter trying to go by as well. Now the question is, can Rasmussen start reeling in some of those front runners who by this time have got a half a lap? Sean Tucker has run out to a good
Tebow's still
12,
sniffing around
15
Stokes
car
there.
length lead. Tebow and Stokes are racing for second place. Nobody's racing for first but Sean Tucker. These cars are moving, Dennis.
Jerry Curtis and John Ridgway
let's take
show
it.
on for 4th and 5th.
Frankie Frazier moving up, making a run at Larry Gulliver now. Tebow going by Stokes on the outside.
Stokes says, saying, I won't have anything to do with that, he says. You stay out there.
Stokes trying to hold the advantage of that inside lane.
And he's almost
I don't
got
think
him.
he's got enough cars,
Almost.
Dennis.
No.
Lap by lap, the 28 car.
Yes,
Kurt
and he
Tebow
tucked on the
moving up.
inside. We have a yellow flag.
And the yellow flag comes out. Unfortunate for Sean Tucker, who had sprung out to a an early and immediate lead. That's one of the Duncan brothers. I believe as the dust clears that's Dana Duncan, the younger of the Duncan brothers in the 79 car, having spun out at the end of the home stretch and resting on the inside of the track there in turn number 1.
No damage, though.
He seems to be back underway, having stayed on his wheels, and is coming around to rejoin again. Of course, this time he'll have to start this at the rear.
Of course, this will tighten up the field.
A little bit, yeah.
18 laps completed now, Huey.
Yes. That was a fast 18 laps, Dennis.
They're moving out there. They are moving.
150 are going to go by pretty quick at this rate.
I would say so.
So, the new starting order will have Sean Tucker on the pole with Kirk Tebow and the T-Bird on the outside. So we're going to have a Ford-Chevy clash. So you can run. Tebow looks good, Dennis.
He's running very strong.
Dougie Stokes is always strong, and for him to get around Dougie...
on the outside, no less.
With that apparent ease, I mean, it did take 2 or 3 laps, gaining 12 inches each lap, but when you're running on that outside groove, 12 inches is a long ways to gain.
That's right.
What will our order be now? We're going to have Sean Tucker in the 52 car, the 28 of Kirk Tebow, the 5 of Dougie Stokes, the 10 car of Jerry Curtis, the 32 of Johnny Ridgway, the 81 is Glenn Rasmussen, the 00 of Dale St. Peter, the 51 of Larry Gulliver, the 23 of Frankie Fraser, the 97 of Chris Duncan, the 31 of Jerry O'Leary, the 7 of Wayne Chase, the 88 of Jimmy Somerville, and the 93 of Tommy Betts. The 79 car of Dana Duncan, apparently having left the track, maybe had to go to the pits.
Went into the pits, I saw there earlier.
Probably
Here
maybe
he comes.
had some tire trouble or something, but he's back on the track to rejoin the rear of the field.
Might have had to adjust some metal there.
They double up, and it looks like we're not going to be wasting much time getting this thing back underway, Dennis. They're ready to go. The lights are out on the pace car. He's going to the inside.
And we're going to go green.
So it's going to be Tucker and Tebow down the home stretch. Let's see if Tucker can do to Tebow what he did to
Tebow tried to get the jump, but Tucker was to the task.
Tebow staying with Tucker, certainly a little better than Dougie Stokes did on the first start.
Stokes moving inside Tebow, or at least he tried.
Here comes Tucker, Tebow, Stokes. Glenn Rasmussen trying to take the 4th spot away from Jerry Curtis. All that black and yellow, that is 2 cars, folks. Don't mistake that for 1 car. They just happen to be using the same paint schemes. Door handle to door handle, Rasmussen and Curtis. And Curtis seems to be holding him off, Dennis. Rasmussen got a little loose in turns 1 and 2 there, and if anything, lost a little ground to Jerry Curtis.
Larry Gulliver's making a move on the outside there as well.
And Sean Tucker just turned the cruise control on. He's got the thing on cruise control and the stereo turned on, and he's just sitting out front running. Rasmussen, Curtis seems to be extending that lead a little bit on Rasmussen. Rasmussen made a big run at him there a couple of laps ago and looked like he was going to overtake Jerry Curtis and slip into that 4th spot for himself, but Curtis fended him off pretty well, shut the door. Rasmussen got a little loose and had to back out of it, and so he seems content at this moment to sit behind Jerry and run around a few laps and wait to see what happens.
Larry Gulliver, but the only car that's trying to make any moves at all on the outside right now. He's sniffing away at 8th spot. Oh, a little contact there. Gulliver goes off.
Between Larry Gulliver and Frankie Fraser. Little side-to-side action there.
Didn't see any damage to Frankie Fraser's car.
There was any action, but there have a caution flag out again as Larry Gulliver slipped off the track. Larry got it back in shape and back on the track, but not before the yellow flag had dropped. So we'll just probably have to line this up and have another restart, Dennis.
And Tebow
shouldn't be much of
had a bit of a spin there in turn number 3 as well.
Yeah, see, completely unrelated incident. Let's wind that back and see what happened in turn number 3 there. Mitch, if you got that...
there's Gulliver going off.
There's Gulliver going off in turn 4.
Looks like he just got himself a bit loose. Well,
Yes, got a little loose, made some contact sideways between Larry Gulliver and Frankie Fraser. Larry, being on the outside, got the worst of that and had to drive over the rough ground for a minute.
No major damage. Looks like everyone's going to stay on the track this time. So
I would say so. So we'll probably get a fairly expedient restart here.
Matter of fact, Tebow never even lost a position.
Very little cleaning up to do. Yeah, I think that the caution had already flown.
Already been flown when he went off.
Where the laps under caution don't count here, the order wouldn't change. So it's going to be another drag race for Tucker and Tebow. Tebow making a little better effort at it than Dougie Stokes had made on that last one. But Tucker's real fast.
Well, he knows this track inside and out. You know, you give Tucker the line and give him some open space, and he's a very hard man to catch. You know.
I would say where he's sitting there right now, it's going to be very difficult to dislodge Sean Tucker from that pole position.
Interesting to see what number 10 Jerry Curtis will do, sitting next to Stokes after the start as well. He's been sort of nosing around to move up. And
see, the lights are out in the pace car. They're approaching the line. An early start. Tucker and Tebow at it coming into turn 3. They didn't wait for anything. The green flag drops. Tucker once again just pulls away. He just seems to have enough car to drive away from the field.
Jerry Curtis lost a spot on that start.
Yes, he did. Glenn Rasmussen now having passed Jerry Curtis.
Oh!
Jerry Curtis
and the Caribou Kid getting involved there.
Rub a little fender, burned a little rubber, but everyone kept their spot. Johnny Ridgway managed to avoid that. But Dougie Stokes trying to get that spot back from Kirk Tebow. As Sean Tucker now has 12 lengths on the field and turned the cruise control back on.
Stokes and Tebow are tapping fenders there. And Stokes just may have the horsepower to do this, you know.
That seems to be the race as Johnny Ridgway spins backwards down the home stretch into the mud, and the yellow flag comes out one more time. Ridgway again, as was the case in the first 3 cautions this race, doesn't look to be in any damage. Let's have another look at that, Dennis, and see what happened to Johnny Ridgway. Seems to be progressing along there pretty well. Couldn't really see if Frank Fraser had made a little contact, perhaps, with Johnny or not. Sort of off our camera by the time that happened, but whatever happened, Johnny Ridgway got turned around and parked the car backwards on the infield apron.
I do believe both Duncan boys went off.
Both Duncan boys?
I do believe.
You're right. There's not a Duncan to be seen. Woe is me.
Might be down in the pits doing a little strategy right now.
Yeah, obviously encountered some difficulty of some kind. I think, I'm not sure that Dana had returned after his first spin, but I see now that Chris is also conspicuous by his absence.
27 laps done in this one, by the way, Huey, on a 150 lapper.
Rolling around. Well, the pace car brings him around one more time.
Here
And speaking
comes
of
Dana.
Dana Duncan, there he is. The younger Duncan brothers rejoining the field. I guess he'd be down. Actually, I think Dana would be down several laps by now. Dennis, I'm not sure about that. I wasn't really counting, but I don't think Dana rejoined after that last restart. I think he actually missed that whole everything.
I think
since
you
the
may be
last
right.
restart. Frank Fraser's being spoke to
Give
there.
a little talking to there.
This may be, we may be able to tell by what happens here whether or not they decide that Frank Fraser was involved in Johnny Ridgway's little pirouette.
I think they just told him to work and play well with others there.
I think Frank Fraser's going to the back of the field. John Ridgway is taking up his spot at the back of the field, and I think Frank Fraser is going to join him. Dennis, as we mentioned, with our camera angle, we couldn't really pick up on that, but I would think at this point we're safe to assume that Frank Fraser had made some contact with John Ridgway on the home stretch and was considered to be involved in that spin.
Consequently, he's at the back of the bus now.
That's where he sits, with only the 2 Duncan boys, the Chris Duncan having returned to the track on that last turn. And now they're both back in the hunt again. But I think probably Chris is still on the lead lap. I think Dana is down some. So the pace car will no doubt exit the track on this lap. Wayne Chase coming around to catch the rear of the field. So if Wayne Chase can get lined up, we should have this the last lap under caution. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what Frank Fraser does starting from back where he is. With some cars ahead of him.
He's not one to sit idly at the back, is he?
The lights are out on the pace car, means he's parking that. So they're going to go this time. And watch how early these cars start, Dennis.
Should
the
be hitting it just about
28 car,
now.
Just as soon as they get into that corner, they land on it. But once again,
Tucker again getting that jump.
Tebow just doesn't have enough. John Tucker bolts out to a couple of car lengths once again. 150. Jimmy Summer using all of the track and then some as Glenn Rasmussen
is off
spins
now.
out.
Oh, we've got several cars off here. A couple anyway.
More. Ridgway once again down into the dirt on the inside of the track. Rasmussen lost it going into turn one and got his parked over on the east end of the track. Let's have a look again at what happened to Glenn Rasmussen there, Dennis. See him just got two wheels off into the dirt there, and as he brought it back up onto the pavement, maybe just a little too sharply, brought it all the way around.
No damage, though. He's
we'll
back
restart
on
this thing once again. We've got 28 laps in the book of 150, so we've got some racing ahead of us here yet, Dennis.
Well, if there's any indication, it could be a long afternoon, Huey.
It might take a little while, but what better way to spend a long afternoon than here at New Brunswick International Speedway watching some real fine pro stock racing?
I could think of no better way, personally speaking.
Well, I'm with you on that one. Get them lined up again.
But I have to say once again, Huey, and I can't emphasize this enough, there's nothing like watching racing live. You have to be out here to get the gas fumes, smell the tire smoke.
Feel the ground shake.
Exactly. So, and for the ticket price, it's...
Jerry Curtis asking some directions from the track steward there. We see Glenn Rasmussen is rejoined. Apparently hasn't taken any damage. Hasn't gone anywhere near the pit anyway, so we assume that he must still be in good shape. Johnny Ridgway is still out there running. He was off in that incident.
Flag man telling them to cross up now.
They want them doubled up. I guess we'll probably see one more lap with the pace car. They'll double them up this time and race them the next.
A chance for the back markers there to
tighten
up the field.
Double order. Let's just check and see what our order is, Dennis. As it's been the last few times, we have the 28 car, Kurt Tebow and Sean Tucker on the pole. Dougie Stokes and Dale St. Peter having moved up quite a few positions.
Yep.
On the second row, Jerry O'Leary also has gained a substantial amount of ground and is now on the inside of Larry Gulliver on row 3. The 88 and the 93 car of Jimmy Somerville and Tommy Betts comprise row 4. And we're ready to go racing. The pace car is off the track.
And they've
Tucker's on the pedal. One more time down the home stretch. There just doesn't seem to be enough horsepower out there to do anything with Sean Tucker on these restarts, Dennis. So it's Sean Tucker, Kurt Tebow, Dougie Stokes, the Caribou Kid O'Leary getting into the Caribou Kid, but gets the worst of that. Jerry O'Leary got his front fender against Dale St. Peter's rear fender, and St. Peter's got a little squirrely, but O'Leary went all the way around, collecting Larry Gulliver in the meantime. Let's back this one up and have a look at it, Dennis. You'll see in turn 1, they make a little contact. O'Leary gets the fender into St. Peter again.
Just tried to knock on the inside there, didn't have the room.
Turns her backwards and off they go. So O'Leary and St. Peter getting together. At least the bonus of that is you'll notice, Dennis, those cars are painted again, orange and white and black, the same color scheme. So when they rub, it doesn't show up as bad.
No, really, it doesn't.
If one car was purple and one was pink, you notice
jump right out
more.
at you. You know.
That's correct. So the order won't change much at the front. Back to the first 4 cars will stay the same. I think Larry Gulliver will probably maintain the position he was in. He just had to slide it off the track to keep from running into Jerry O'Leary broadside. Well, I think we'll find O'Leary probably coming around to the rear.
29 laps in here. We were doing this a lap at a time. You notice that? could be a long one.
I don't know. I'm going to ask Steve Burns, one of the track officials, why there's so many caution flags. Get a dirty look for my trouble. Dale St. Peter sitting up on the high side of the track. I would say it's maybe he's returning to the rear with
that's
I'm not sure what the call would be in that case. It certainly O'Leary and Dale St. Peter were together at the end of the home stretch and through turns 1 and 2, and I would say they're determining now. It looks like maybe St. Peter is having to go to the rear.
They're still jockeying them up here.
As a huge howl comes up from the fans. Let's see how this order shakes down. I think it's going to be, the interest is going to be what's happening at the rear of the field, Dennis. I don't think anything too significant is going to happen at the front. See what we're looking at here. I see they've also got Jerry Curtis sitting on the track over there. I'm not sure what part Jerry Curtis may have played in that. But it looks like our order will be Tucker, Tebow, Stokes, Gulliver, Jimmy Somerville, and Dana Duncan, Tommy Betts, Frank Fraser, Wayne Chase, Glenn Rasmussen, John Ridgway, and then Chris Duncan, Glenn Rasmussen, Jerry O'Leary, and Dale St. Peter. Did I leave out Jerry Curtis there?
No, I don't think so. Still early, though. This is still anybody's race at this point.
Oh, yeah, 29 laps in there.
A lot can happen.
A lot
now and 150. You know, they keep hitting these cautions here. They may have to stop the gas up, you know?
Yeah. Enough caution flags, they'll be heading for the fuel pumps. As the pace car makes one more lap.
Okay, I think they've moved Dale St. Peter up a few notches here. He doesn't look to be in last place anymore.
He's not all the way in last, but he's well back there from where he was before that incident happened.
Yes.
I think O'Leary and Dale St. Peter were side by side on the third row at that last restart.
The lights are off the pace car. I think we're going to go racing this time.
I think you're right, Dennis. And it's great to watch these restarts with Tucker and Tebow. Those are two fast professional race cars there.
Should hit it, but now look at that.
They hit it early. Tebow
territory.
got quite a little jump that time. Still not enough.
Quite enough.
Still not enough for Sean Tucker.
As Tucker moves up again.
See, Tucker immediately grabs a couple of car lengths. The pack's bunched up and moving quickly. So it's Tucker, Tebow, Stokes, Gulliver, and Jimmy Somerville, Tommy Betts, Frank Fraser. And once again, Tucker 4, 5, 6 car lengths out to the lead. Turns on the cruise control. And if anything, that lead's getting larger every lap, Dennis.
Tebow and Stokes are going at her again.
That seems to be where the racing is taking place
for
right
number
now.
2, yeah.
Dougie Stokes and Kurt Tebow battling for second place. Stokes gets on the inside.
He just may have it.
Will he be able to take him down the backstretch? He's
They'll
certainly
probably
got an advantage coming in, and they get together.
They're swapping
Tebow's
paint.
loose. A little bumping between Dougie Stokes and Kirk Tebow, but Stokes takes that second place.
I don't think Tebow was too anxious to let him in there.
And Larry
Tebow's
Gulliver
lost another
goes
spot.
by before Kirk Tebow can get that thing collected. Larry Gulliver slips by and takes third place, which puts Tebow back to fourth.
Frankie Fraser's coming on strong,
Frankie
too.
Fraser coming by Tommy Betts on the outside, making a run at Jimmy Somerville.
Fraser just burning up that track right now.
He's certainly, considering where he was 5 laps ago at the rear of the pack, he's certainly gaining ground. And continuing to close in as Tucker is now probably a quarter of the track length ahead of the field. Stokes has stretched out a pretty good lead on Larry Gulliver. And Tebow in fourth place, he may be off the pace a little bit, Dennis. He doesn't seem to be running as quickly as he was. I wonder if his alignment or something.
May have had some problems there. He was off the track a couple times here, so.
Where he got together with Dougie Stokes there, racing for second place. That may not have done him any good.
Frankie Fraser's knocking on his back door right now for that fourth spot. And, you know,
Fraser's
I think he's going to take it.
Fraser's on the inside if he can stay there. Tebow comes down, tries to close the door. The fenders and the tires are both cars smoking.
It's a little warning
Fraser
there.
Tries to get by Tebow on the inside.
And
Glenn
he just may
Rasmussen
do
rolls
it.
up the black flag and gives a warning to somebody. We're not sure which of those two cars was getting the black flag warning from Chuck Henderson. But Fraser has taken over that fourth spot. And now sets his sights for Larry Gulliver.
Starting to reel him in.
So it's Tucker well out ahead. Dougie Stokes with a comfortable lead over Larry Gulliver in second place. Larry in third and another 6 or 8 car lengths back to Frankie Fraser in fourth. And Kirk Tebow coming on again.
A couple more laps and Tucker may start lapping traffic here.
I think a couple of more laps and Tucker will start lapping traffic.
They're all bunched up towards the back of the pack here. Some interesting racing going on.
Yeah, we got 3 or 4 fast cars behind the slower cars of Jimmy Somerville and Chris Duncan. Glenn Rasmussen, Jerry Curtis, Johnny Ridgway, and Dale St. Peter. All pretty quick cars that would traditionally probably be running ahead of Jimmy Somerville and Chris Duncan. But as Rasmussen gets around, he goes inside of Chris Duncan and then outside Jimmy Somerville. Rasmussen bounces off the side of Somerville's car and loses that position for trouble as Somerville gets tagged by Chris Duncan in the back corner, and he goes around. Jerry Curtis
just missed that light pole.
Drives down to the inside of the track to miss that accident, goes through the dirt for his trouble. We'll get another restart. I don't think there's any appreciable damage done there. Let's wind that back and see what happens on the backstretch there, Dennis.
Running rather tight there.
Heading down.
Oh,
Chris
it's a little
Duncan
tap from behind.
Drives into the back of Jimmy Somerville's car and spins him.
Good driving by Jerry Curtis to miss that one.
So I guess we don't have to wait for the racing order to come up, Dennis, before we know where Chris Duncan and Jimmy Somerville will be starting.
I suspect they'll be sitting towards the rear.
This may bunch things up a little more at the front, Dennis. Now we're going to see the cars of Glenn Rasmussen, Jerry Curtis, Johnny Ridgway, Jerry O'Leary, and Dale St. Peter, who were well back behind the cars of Chris Duncan and Jimmy Somerville, who were running side by side.
Exactly. And Frankie Fraser moved up nicely there, too. He's going to be in a better position on the start.
Much better, but we'll probably see that group of cars that was well back stay up a little better this time because they won't have the cars of Duncan and Jimmy Somerville to get around. They're determining now what's going on between Glenn Rasmussen. Interesting to note, Glenn Rasmussen and Jimmy Somerville got together at the end of turn 4, just starting down the home stretch on that last lap before the spin, Dennis. And
we have a fire there.
Actually,
a little
hit
fuel fire.
Side by side. That's just exhaust flaming. That's quite normal. Nothing too serious to
Give the crowd a little show there.
Little show. What happens when they sit and idle like that, the gas builds up in the exhaust system and ignites. Again, doesn't really hurt anything. Maybe scorches the paint on the outside of the car once in a while, but as soon as they open the throttle, that blows that fire right out.
And to think I forgot my marshmallows.
Yes, exactly. Might get a little black in that petroleum fire. Jerry O'Leary getting a little attention from the track steward down in the corner there, turn 4, right by the starting line. Perhaps getting that front fender pulled out away from his tire a little bit, having been involved in some contact earlier on.
So, we have a whole new lineup coming into the picture here. Well, not whole new.
Yeah. Kirk Tebow's dropped back 4 places after several restarts on the outside of the pole, chasing down Sean Tucker.
Frankie Fraser will be starting on the outside of row 2.
2 or 3 cars had gotten around him that time. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see now. I think Stokes has already had his chance and didn't have enough for Tucker. It's going to be interesting to see what Frankie Fraser can do. You suppose he brought any more extra horsepower with him from Nova Scotia when he came?
I don't know. He may have, you know.
Maybe that's why Scotty's not running. Maybe he lent some of that horsepower to Dad for this race.
Might have been a little tomfoolery going on back there in the pits, maybe.
I think this will be our last lap under caution.
.46 laps run.
That leaves us with
105.
105, yeah.
I was told there'd be no math, Huey.
Oh, don't you hate that? The lights are out of the pace car, Dennis. It's going to be Dougie Stokes and Sean Tucker.
And watch for this start. This is going to be interesting.
The way it was to start this race. Those were the pole positions coming in. They're into it early. Door handle down the home stretch, but as they start into turn 1, as has been the case every restart this race.
Hey, Larry Gulliver taking second spot.
Nice move by Larry Gulliver to take over second spot from Dougie Stokes.
Tebow back and forth now.
Tebow having done around Jerry Curtis. Frankie Fraser has slipped back 1, 2, 3.
Not running well in that high groove at all.
Fraser's has lost. He's gone from 4th back to 6th place there, and is going
Make
back
that
further.
7.
Frank
Possibly
Fraser's
8.
got some trouble, Dennis. He's obviously got some trouble. He
Must have
dropped
loosened up the
well
front end
back
or
off
something.
The pace.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's going by him on the inside. As one of the Duncan boys returns her to the infield.
Yellow flag out again. 47 laps run.
That's Chris Duncan.
103 left.
Reverses her. There's those flames. You got one of those marshmallows?
I think I might have some in my car there.
There we see Frank Fraser pulling off down into the pits, Dennis. Doesn't surprise me. You could see that there was something wrong with his car. He had been running very, very strong.
Having a rough time up in that high groove.
Yeah.
May have been a handling problem.
In a couple of laps there, he dropped 6 or 7 places, which is not normal. Let's have a look at that. Wind that back. We'll watch Chris Duncan turn it inside out for us here one more time.
Might have had a little tap, might not. Can't really tell from this position.
Didn't see any contact in that particular incident, but Chris Duncan heads for the pits anyway to try to get his trouble straightened out. So the order at the front will be a little different again this time. I think we're going to have Larry Gulliver starting on the outside of Sean Tucker. He'll be followed by Dougie Stokes and Kirk Tebow. I would say 2 of the strongest cars in this field.
They've been up front all day long here.
Yeah. And it's a long time before this is done. We could see Frank Fraser come back, depending on whether he makes it for the restart or not.
And he has. He's just coming on the track now.
He's on the track in a race.
A little twisted up there. Could be just the body work, though.